Hello. Good morning. Welcome to the FFTW channel, guys. We're about to get started on the day here. Let's take a quick look at the economic calendar before we start on the charts. We have here the Wednesday, April 30th calendar. See all the news that came out today. We have some news at 8:30. 8:15, 8:30, 9:45, 10 a.m. So let's plan accordingly so that we don't take any trades at the time of the news. Make sure we don't blow up any accounts. And with that being said, all right, we'll be aware 9:45 is the next one, 10 o'clock is the next one after that, and 10:30. All right, so let's go back. We can go get on the charts. Markets opened. And we're gonna go here on the NQES. We're gonna erase all the drawings from the previous day. We're going to hide all the indicators so we can see strictly price action. And we're here on the 1 hour or the hourly chart, where we're going to mark support and resistance. Don't worry about the market moving right now. Don't worry about rushing to take a trade. We're just going to chill here, mark up our charts, let the market kind of slow down a little bit, give it 10 to 15 minutes before you start taking trades. So that we're building good habits to keep us live in the markets in the long term. Here we have an hourly support, and it looks like we was in an uptrend. Price created a lower low here, and now it looks like we're starting a downtrend. Okay, so we have resistance there. Okay, so how do we sell this market, right? Because the market looks very bearish. But we also have, right, it's bearish. We have a gap above because price closed all the way up here, and now we're open all the way down here. So this entire zone here on the NQ is a gap from the open to the close. This is an entire gap. On that yellow here, it's a gap. Okay, so we have a gap on the chart. What else do we have here? We had an uptrend here. That was broken an uptrend on a downtrend, which means this uptrend line isn't exactly helping us here. So we're going to not mark that down because it's practically useless at the moment, but we do have strong support right down here. Okay, got strong support there, and I like to mark also as we get close to that support. I like to mark the last red candle as a demand zone, so that I'm careful selling into this. Right? As price is coming down, I want to be careful selling into this because price may or may not get to the support line. Okay? This whole zone down here is influenced by the buyers. I'm gonna mark that down. Okay, so I'm looking to see how price reacts to this support. Do we come down hard and then reject? off of it and then start going higher? Okay. Or is the market going to attempt to fill the gap before attempting to do this break? Okay. Move that out the way for now. So we need to, in order for us to know what direction the market's going to take, we need to know the market structure. The market's making swing highs, swing low, higher lows, higher highs, higher low. Till we create a lower low. I'm sorry, a lower high and then a lower low. So now I'm looking for one. I want to see if there's a resistance off of this coming down. Okay. I want to see this resistance where I can sell from, and I would probably look for previous areas of support to act as resistance as well. You can mark this one right here. This looks like a key level where it was previously support here, support here. Since it has a key low, I'm gonna mark that orange. Okay, so let's keep that key level on there. Price might react off of there. And see, what else do we see here? What else do we see? What else do we see? We do have also what looks like another trend line, kind of like here. Okay. We have a trend line here, would also be resistance for us because we broke through it. So every line that we break through, right, every important key level that we break through, I'm looking for it to act as resistance if we break to the downside. Okay, so what else we have? I think that looks pretty good for now. Yeah, that looks pretty good for now. Let's go on the ES and do the same thing. It's only been 7 minutes. There's no rush to take trades and try to speed it up and just see if you can make some money, chase the move. We're falling into support here, so do you want to be a seller at support? Think about that. What I would rather see is some sort of pullback. On the 5 minute here, we got a pretty good pullback here. But it's so close to support again. I don't want to be a seller here. I don't want to have my entry at support. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's an hourly support. So there's nothing here to trade. There's nothing, no rush. Market's very bearish, huge sell-off to start the day. Welcome everyone. Good morning. Good morning. All right, so we have the ES, the NQ chart ready to go. I'm gonna kind of do the same thing here on the ES. Just be careful if you guys are looking to sell, because there's a support line here. That'd be a great idea to sell at support. We do have a very strong move down, so it does give the illusion that this could go lower. We have a gap above we have to consider. Price closed all the way up here, so we have a huge gap. I'll show you over here on the Q. In the Qs, we have this huge gap right here. If you're looking at QQQ, you'll notice that same thing, huge gap. There's support. Let's see. Let's go back to sellers very strong. Jesus. Jesus. All right, let's go to the ES. And we're gonna quickly mark up the chart. Keep it simple. Resistance. Support. Okay, do we have any trend lines? We're on the hourly, support, resistance, trend lines. Do we have any trend lines? Well, we have one here on the 1 hour, but we broke that. Is there another trend line that should be worried about? Maybe there's one here. Why do I mark that one? Well, this one has 3 touch points. We have a touch point here, we have a touch point here, and we have a touch point here. And since we're coming down onto it, I'm gonna look at this as possible support. And we was past it. If we were down here, I would look at it as possible resistance. Okay, so like that. And we also have one line here. That could be resistance in the future. Okay. Now that we have everything all set up, to the lower time frame. See, let me mark this key level here as well. Since that's a key level, I like to knock them up with orange. Bring it a little bit higher here. Just want to make sure it's a valid key level here. Right there. Market's very strong today. No need to rush into any trades. Just chilling, man, hanging out. There's news at 9:45 as well, so you know, don't want to get in on a trade and have the news blow my account. That being said, let's go here now to the lower time frames. And then we're gonna now add our indicators. Okay. So like there's a zone, demand zone down here. Okay. Very bearish today. We broke through that hourly support, nice and easy. This green line right here, we marked that on the hourly. Everything we marked up here, every line we have is on the hourly time frame. We broke through that very easily. There's a possible chance the price might pull back in this demand zone. There might be some buyers here. They might pull back. Use this hourly support as resistance. Might be a nice entry for some shorts. Okay. If this momentum continues, we break a structure down here. Market is on a downtrend. Pull back, break a structure. I will look for another pullback. The only thing is, I probably, instead of trying to go for a big move from here, I would just go for a quick scalp. The reason being, is that is the demand zone. If the demand zone wasn't there, then I would have a different game plan. But with that demand zone there, I can make a pullback, and then from here I will enter shorts. I would look for them if we get them. If we see sellers enter strong here, then I would scalp it all the way down to these lows. Maybe take some profit there if you take more than one contract, and then possibly leave a runner to see if it keeps going. But I would definitely take some profit here if this pushes up. It's also a bearish for value gap after these breaker structure. So this is a good setup because there's a breaker structure. Okay, so it's a good setup because it's a breaker structure, but it's too close to demand zone. If the demand zone was further away, then I'll be like, okay, then, you know, get in here and just plan for it to go a lot further. Otherwise, since that's not the case, I would just plan for a quick stop there. Next one, see what it looks like there. See what it looks like. Okay, so that's the first 15-minute candle. We can mark up the 15-minute range. Because this gives me a good idea what price is going to continue to go. Is it going to continue the trend, or is it going to reverse? There we go. There it is. So yeah, pull up. It is fair value gap. We might bounce up this 21 EMA as well at the same time. If we get a nice entry from the sellers, we'll short there. That's what I would do. Let's take a look at the ES. Kind of like the same thing going on here. We have 15-minute range, 15-minute candle. Let's go back down. Okay, so yeah, so we see a retracement, same thing here. If we see a retracement, price could go up here. Could be a long scalp here too. You can scalp some buys from here to here. Once it gets to this one, I would definitely be out. It's a quick scalp, super fast. Buy, boom, goes up, sell, quick. I mean, quick. I wouldn't buy and then get in here and be like, oh, is this gonna go all the way? No. I would not do that. I would buy it. There's a hammer candle right there. I would buy it. It go up to my red zone. I would close that, buy, and then I'm looking for sellers to sell. That's why. So if I'm looking for sellers to sell here, why would I buy thinking, okay, we might go all the way up here? No, I'm looking for sellers to sell in here so I can go with the trend. Okay. So if the green candles step into this little box right here, and we start seeing maybe long wick candles or hammer candles, some sort of indication that now the buyers are becoming weaker and then the sellers are becoming stronger, then that's when that transition is happening. That's when you want to get in your sell position. You could also get in on the zone. You could have an entry in the zone, but that's just a bit of a bold move. Right? Sometimes it's uh, the less riskier move. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you're jumping in without confirmation, but you know, maybe you can, rather than waiting for the confirmation, be down here, and then now your stop it should be like way up here. You know what I'm saying? And then you take profits. You know, I'm trying to keep my risk as small as I can. You know, I like to get in as close to this red box as possible if I was going short. Like I said, I want to see uh, buyers be weak, sellers become stronger, and then I'll take my short. Now I don't like the short here on the NQ because the ES hasn't reached that. So yeah. And if you follow both of these, if you follow both of these uh, stocks, Qs in ES and the S&P, you'll notice that things like this is something that you want to consider. And they almost move the same, but they can also kind of snitch on each other based on what the prices do. I'm not sure this short might work. We'll have to wait for this candle closure first. If we close below this green one, then we might push a little bit lower and put back up. That it says. So see what I'm talking about? Sometimes it's better to just take the entry inside the zone and just, you know, do your stop. Because now if the red candle closes strong, then now my entry is gonna be right, and now my stop is gonna be inside here or behind the zone. So now my stop needs to be further if I wait sometimes for confirmation. That's something to consider. It's just hard to predict when the market's gonna move without it having moved yet. So this setup is a little sketchy, like I said, because the S&P hasn't pulled back much. Sometimes what it'll do, what I think could happen is you can get sucked into a trap, into a short, right? You might get sucked into a short, and then price can then go back up to stop on, right? Get your stops. Because if you get in there, you put your stops there. What the market will do sometimes, they take you out, and then there you go. So there it is. It's a very strong selling candle right here, though. This is very strong selling candle. Right off the 21 EMA, like I said, right off the zone, the fair value gap. If I take this short, though, I would probably put it here. So like I said, I think we could go up one more time before we go lower and stop off the traders here, then come down. It's a possibility, you know. So I'm saying, but it's working. It's working so far. There it is. We was waiting for it before it happened, and there it is. It's coming. It's going down. Good follow up on that candle too. Great follow up. Great follow up. Okay, selling. It's now 9:54, guys. We have news in 6 minutes. If you want to hang in your trade while the news is coming out, it's up to you. Play it at your own risk. But just know that we don't control what happens when the news comes out, and accounts could be blown. Yes, sir. Oh, Lord. Get some water here. How's everybody doing so far, man? Everybody having a great morning? All right. That's what's up. This is still here. I know it was removed by the indicator, as the indicator will remove zones once it doesn't consider them being valid. But we still are in a demand zone here. So just know that, where there's danger. If I'm selling, I want to be cautious of where the buyers are sitting. If I'm buying, I want to be cautious of where the sellers are sitting. We're seeing very good amount of selling here as it's coming down. Perfect bounce off the 21 EMA on the NQ. So it's a very strong here. Breaking out of the 50-minute opening range. A good sign market might go lower. Good sign market might go lower. Yes, sir. 3 minutes into the news comes out. We have personal income and outlays, pending home sales index, 10 a.m. Eastern time. Three minutes. Okay. All right, so going back as this continues to come down, just touching the going back to the trade idea, right? The trade idea. Why were we waiting for shorts here? Why would I look for shorts here? Before the market gets it, why am I looking for shorts here? Right? Because I don't want us. If you're, what did I say this morning? Don't worry, guys. Don't worry about chasing the market lower, right? If it's starting to go lower, it's going lower. Don't worry about just jumping in on a trade, because the market open is tough. It's a tough stuff to know where it's gonna go, because there's this rush of orders coming in, buyers and sellers very strong in both ways, and you can get chopped up easily in the morning. So it's good to wait a little bit, right? Let things go in their favor. We saw there was a break of structure there. We saw a pullback. We saw a little bit of buying here. And we're like, okay, if we're going to sell it, right? How do I sell it without selling at the floor, right? Without selling at support? Well, I have to look for an area of interest where the sellers are likely to re-enter. Because as this comes down, sellers are, or just people in general, might be looking to sell this, for it to continue, right? Because it's strong. If the move is strong, I'm expecting it to continue. If the move is weak, I'm not gonna jump in on sells if the market's selling very slow and very weak, right? But if it's selling strong, how can I get in at a good entry without chasing? How can I get a good entry without chasing? Well, I know that there was a pullback up here. There was a pullback. No pullback here. We broke this structure. We had another pullback here, and then we have strong selling from here. Right, pull back again, strong selling again. So sellers hit here twice, really hard. Right, first this huge candle, and secondly this hammer candle here. They hit twice here. They really like this spot right here. So they hit twice there. Boom, break a structure. We broke these lows. Right, we broke low. Right. So then if we have a break of structure, don't want to sell it down here thinking, okay, it's just going to keep going forever, guys. Everybody sell. It's just going to go forever. No, it's not going to go forever. The market doesn't go forever. The market moves in waves. So I would look for, one, a fair value gap. That's one choice. I would look for a retracement to my 21 EMA. That's another choice. If I don't have the fair value gap there, I will look for a retracement of the 21 EMA. If I have both of them, like in this case, we have both the fair value gap and the EMA there, the 21 EMA. Now I have double the confirmation that this can work. Right? I'm adding on to the idea that sellers can enter in here where I'm looking to sell. Because why? Because I don't want to enter on sell by myself by chasing the market. I don't want to just, okay, it's just going down, just sell it because, right, it just looks like it's going to go. No, I want to sell where there's other people selling as well. So if I can identify where those areas are, then I'm going to first look to see some selling there. And if they show up, I'm going to jump in with them, right? And just ride the move with them, with the people who are obviously selling here. And then ride it with them. Once you see weakness on your move, right? You see this big candle, but then you see this doji candle. What's this doji mean? This doji means, well, that's good. In reverse. That's what a doji is. That's what it does. So if you're really careful, if you're studying your candlesticks and you're studying your price action, okay, we said what? Before we even thought about this trade, we said we don't want to sell at support. This green line here, that was the hourly support. This is the low of the 50-minute range. We said, all right, we don't want to sell at support. I'd rather wait for support to break and be used as resistance. Now I want to sell because now it has a higher percentage that it could work. No? So that's it. There it is. That's just kind of like the breakdown, the thought process that goes into thinking price is gonna go here and then move this way. Is knowing your candlesticks, knowing your market structure, and knowing how price is most commonly known to behave. It's like a child. Like if you have kids, know which one behaves this way and which one behaves that way. Yeah, it has a personality. You know, what's the personality of the NQ? Well, every time the NQ throws you an entry, it often comes back to your entry, and it goes back to your stop loss on the regular and takes you out. So that's why I'm expecting price to go to my stop where I place my stop loss before it does it. I mean, I'm already expecting it. And then when it doesn't do it, well, it's great, it's fine, cool. But I'm expecting always when I take a trade on the NQ for it to go back to my stop loss. So I have to manage my risk accordingly because of that. Because I may have to have a far away enough stop for this to work. That's why, because price is very likely to go back to my initial entry area, try to stop me out. Or what you could do is if you take a trade like this one, and it starts to push, sorry, it starts to push in your favor, And you can quickly move your stop to break even. That's another possibility. You can make that part of your plan. Right? Once you're in profits, take take your stop, put it on break even. You could also do a 1-to-1, keep a tight stop loss. That's another thing. You keep a really tight stop loss when the candlestick stop. So if you enter on that red candle, you put your stop above that red candle, and then you take a 1-to-1, and then bam, that's it. You get your little stop with 1-to-1, and you're done for the day. Easy money. Right, so it looks like we're going straight to where these stops are. So like I said, if I enter short there and I put my stop above this candle, this stop will often, right, or this instrument will often come back and hit your stop. This system is designed to make you lose all your money. That's what it's designed to do. How can you beat the system? Well, you have to, for one, learn how price moves. You have to know market structure. You have to learn to read momentum. How strong are the sellers? How strong are the buyers? That's a pretty nasty buying candle right there. I would not want to be on the other side of that. I'll tell you that much. I see this candle, I would not be looking to hold my puts, you know. It's just nasty. Look at this candle, bro. Okay. We broke above below the 50-minute range, and then we get a nasty candle like this. Fuck that. I would not want to sit there and wait, you know. It can still go lower because essentially this is a lower high, and this is still a lower high so far. But do you see the size of this candle? Right? Nasty. Right? And that was at 10 o'clock, right when the news came out. So then again, I'm saying, careful when the news comes out. 10 o'clock. But you know, buyers are stepping in, killing this move up, and we just don't know what's going to go down next. I also said in the beginning, I would be looking for short if market comes up here, but I wouldn't look for this to go all the way down. I would just be looking for a quick short. That was like the first thing I said. I would look for a quick short. Now, where would I look to sell next? I probably wouldn't look to sell here again. I'd probably like to sell up here. This would be my next spot where I would like to sell if it gets up there. And if I would buy, I would want to see a break of this this channel. And break. You got a break and a retest. Now we see buyers stepping in, and they're going straight to where your stop losses are. Take your money. You want to take your money, man. Oh look, they show them, make them happy. You know, make them put more size on there. Okay, you put more size, and then they take your money. So that you have to be quick sometimes. You know, you have to know when to be quick. You have to know when to sit and let them run. Does that make sense, guys? Does it make sense? See, there it is. How did I know that? Don't know, because I've taken years of losses. That's how I know this, because I've taken similar trades, taken this trade many times, so I know what it's likely to do. If you always repeat the same strategy, right? If you repeat the same entry, you're gonna know with data, with feedback, how the market behaves when you take the same entry. So this is what's important when you're getting started in your learning strategies. You want to know that. For one, you want to choose a strategy that you can understand so that you know how to use it. But also, you want to practice it. You want to practice it, want to run through it, simulate it. Get used to it and get to know, right? Just like you get to know a person, you get to know your strategy. You know how well it works, you know how it behaves. So now when you bring it to the live market, there's no surprises. Okay? I'm pretty sure this is gonna go higher. I'm pretty sure this is gonna go higher. You know why? Because I told you guys. Look at the ES. This is why I put the ES here. It's not because it looks pretty, right? Look at the ES. ES reached 21 EMA, or hasn't reached its fair value gap, or it's this, or I would say this also the discount zone, like with your Fibonacci retracement from here to here. Is that discount zone? It's right where the fair value gap is. Okay, so because we haven't entered there, there's a high possibility. And we did that. We did do it on the NQ, but the ES hasn't done it. ES has a slightly different personality. So what can this do? This can try to bait you to sell. It can try to bait you to sell, and then where I told you I would look to sell next, right? What would I look to sell next? Up here, right? Because here I might get played, right? I might get played here, so I'm not even gonna. I don't even care if it puts the most prettiest red candle that I've ever seen. I'm waiting for here. I'm waiting for here. That's what I'm doing. Okay. But everybody has their own way of trading. Everybody has their own, style. Sometimes people they don't like to be too cautious. They like to, I'm just gonna get in because it's just going up, so I'm just gonna get in, and I just don't care. I'm just gonna get in, But no, I look at risk. I'm looking at and observing danger. There's danger here to sell here, so I will not sell there because I'm putting my money at risk. How are you gonna make millions if you're always putting your money on high risk, right? Or you could put your money where it's safer. If the chance presents itself, right? If it doesn't, then that's fine. At least I didn't take a short here. I'm saving myself, saving my money. I'm not taking a short here, but I'll look for it here where it's more convenient. See? When you know this, man, once you know this, it just becomes too. This is the reason, because if I didn't see, if I didn't have the ES there, if I did not have the ES and I just had the NQ like this, what can I go off of to, right? Where's my snitch? I don't have my snitch. I need to have my snitch. So I pull up the ES chart, because the ES is snitching on the NQ. Can you believe that? You have stocks that snitch on each other. They snitching. ES all here looking strong. ES didn't even try to pull back, right? Look at the pullback of the ES and look at the pullback of the NQ down here at 940. Right down here. Look at this pullback. Right, let's put it on the same time frame. I think that's why it looks so different. But here it is. Okay. Look at this pullback on the ES. Right? It barely pulled back. It barely pulled back. And if you look on the 5-minute, it didn't get into our fair value gap. That's that red box I just drew there. That's the red box I drew there. The ES didn't even touch it. You saw green up to here, and it kept going down. When the NQ stepped into at the same time, 940, 945, NQ was already up here. So that's how I knew. That's how I knew. If the ES is not following through with what the NQ is doing, one of them is snitching on the other one. In this case, the ES was snitching on the NQ. So there you have it. That's I've learned that not from a book or from a person. I learned that through watching these two for so long. You know, if you watch these stocks for 3 years straight together, you're gonna do the same thing that I'm doing. You're gonna be like, oh shit, but look at ES. What ES is saying. ES is saying that NQ is not gonna go down. So if you're trading the NQ, right? Even though you trade the NQ, you don't trade ES. You have ES is snitching. So maybe you could have taken that short here. Maybe you could have taken profit, like I said, take profit at the equal lows. And then you see this strong buying, you know exactly where it's gonna go. It's gonna hunt the stops. So you can now scalp a sell, you can scalp a short here. You can scalp a short here. Right? Get your 1-to-1 or whatever. You don't even need the whole move. Just a little, you know what I'm saying? 1-to-1. And then you can scalp your longs too. If you really like that, you know, if you study this enough, you can grab scalps there too. Right? I wouldn't put my entry up here though. I wouldn't be like, okay, I'm gonna buy up here. Oh, where's the stop loss gonna go? Oh yeah, good luck putting your stop loss all the way down here. I would look to buy as close as possible to down here. As soon as I see strong buying, I would get it. Okay, this is coming back up. Because why? Because I know the ES didn't touch that fair value gap yet. So it's all on how much time you put into your practicing, your studying, you know, and you will be killing these markets, man. You will be killing these markets. If you're not making money, you just need to study more. If you're making money and you want to make more, study even more. That's it. But it's free money out here, man. This is free money. You just, no school can you know, no college will teach you, oh yeah, you know, just, you know, give us $40,000 for what, 1 or 2 years, whatever, and we'll teach you to make millions. Like, no, schools don't teach you that. I might teach you that, not at nearly a fraction of the price, but I'll teach you, right? But this is crazy. This is crazy because you go to college for years to then just sit at an office 40 to 60 hours a week. Yeah, fuck that. I mean, I don't hate if you want to be a doctor, something like that. That's something you need to go to college for. But if you're just looking to make money, you just want to make money to feed your family and to take care of your expenses and your living costs, And this is only, you know, this is easy. It's this software, right? The TradingView, it's just free, bro. You can get TradingView for free. You pay $14 a month. You get the membership. You can practice. This is things that you guys could do. I could hit replay, right? Right now I can hit replay, and I can replay this morning. I can go back here, and then I can be like, okay, you know, where's the play button? Oh, there it is, play. And then you can speed it up, slow it down, you speed it up. Okay. See, you can replay the morning. You can trade with it. You can trade with it. Right, let's go back here. You can play candle by candle. Boom. All right. Let me see if I would a short contract. Let's put one contract, and then and I'm gonna sell. Okay, I took a sell. I'm gonna put my stop loss up here, and I'm gonna put my take profit. Let's say down. Say down here, right? 1 to 1, and then you just go candle by candle. Would I have made money on that trade, or would I have lost? I lost. Took a loss. Lost 1,201 times 1 NQ. Right? So, you know, you can practice this stuff, man. You can practice this stuff. You can get real good. That's it. Yeah. Get good at it. You'll make more money. And you can be more patient with your setups because you're confident that you know how to make money. You don't have to rush. You don't have to, oh, market's open. I gotta jump in on a trade real quick, guys. Hurry. We're gonna lose it. We're gonna lose the opportunity to make. No, this market's gonna be open till 4 o'clock. It's gonna be open till 4 o'clock. We can be chilling. Let me see how I exit this. We're back on the charts. Here's our supply zone. Here's our supply zone up here. That's why I said I might be looking to sell up here. Might be looking to sell up here. But I need to see what price is doing up here. First, we have to get there. We haven't gotten there yet. Right? And we just have to be patient. Wait for price to get there. Supply zone is up here on the ES S&P. The supply zone is up here, and since we already filled this fair value gap, I'm just going to take it off. Replay this one. I'm going to take it off. Okay. But we did not hold this hourly support as resistance, which is why I didn't want to sell down here, because we just broke a support. Well, I was only looking to sell if we use the support as resistance, which we did here. Right, so we used that. The support on the hourly became resistance for short term. So now we could be looking for shorts up here, but now you have to be careful if price comes down to that support, does a pullback and continues to be support. Okay, so I can sell up here, right? Because that's a supply zone. There's strong selling there in the past. There's a high chance of be strong selling here in the future. So I could get in, but can I hold for price to come down here? Is that a possibility? What are the chances? How high is my chance? What's the percentage that this can do that? What's the percentage? Versus what's the percentage they could do this? let's say this has a 75% chance probability to happen. Now this one, let's say this might happen like 5. Okay, and what's another scenario? What else could happen? The price could go down here, it goes down here, or it could just go up a little bit more. It could continue going up. It's still in an uptrend, and then we got minor structure, and it can pull back and go higher. Look at how steep. Look at how steep this push is. Look at how steep this is, right? Look at the inclination on this push up. Right? This line, this green line, is almost completely vertical. It has a slight, right? So this is strong, right? If this move up was more like this, instead of like this, more like this, then it wouldn't look as strong, right? So you have to be careful selling here. Yeah, we are at a supply zone. We're likely to sell from here. We have a gap above. I haven't forgotten about. That's why it's yellow up here, right? That's why it's yellow up here, because that's a gap. Gaps like to fill. So with that being the case, if we do not cross the 21 EMA, just to simplify the trend issue, right? Because we're in a bit of a small uptrend here. The overall move is a bit of a big move down. So we are, I would say, in a larger time frame, in a bigger time frame, we're in a downtrend. Smaller time frame on the uptrend. Right, so I have to sync the two together. But if we don't get below the 21 EMA, what can this do? This can go like this, right? Pull back. We can break out of this steep uptrend here. Pull back, and we could fade to the downside, and then So this is why, right? Because this is a possibility, right? Because this is strong and this could still go up. That's why also I would look for this to be kind of the ideal trade here. If we get strong selling, we got no selling up here yet. All these candles are green, 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 green. No selling up here. So I'm not gonna just take a short when there's no selling. Where am I going to move the market with my $2, $3? With my challenge account? My challenge account ain't going to move the market because it's simulated money. Simulated money. Simulated money does not move the market. You can have $100 million simulated account and you're not going to move the market. So what am I doing? What would I do? I would wait for some selling. Wait for some kind of selling, right? Just like it happened here in the past, right? Same thing. We're not changing up what we're doing. We're just keeping it the same, right? I would keep it, right? Selling, selling, selling. Huge green candle, hammer candle, huge red candle, hammer candle, engulfing red candle. Okay, we get these huge green ones. Don't want to be in the way of that. So that's the same thing I would look for up here. Keep it simple. Keep it, and try to complicate and be like, oh no, the RSI and the volume, and then the change of character with the fair value gap. No, we don't need to know all that stuff. We just need to know that there was a lot of selling here in the past. There could be a lot of selling here in the future. So I'm looking for sellers to go down It's not pulling back at all. There's no selling. There's no selling. There's no selling. There's no sellers here. Look, green, 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 green. So because there's no selling there, I would erase the idea of looking to sell there, and I'm gonna look for the opportunity to buy. Because why? Because we have this huge gap above price. Okay, but I'm also not gonna just buy it blind. I would definitely not buy below this. I would not buy below this line. I don't think I would be looking to buy down here unless, you know, we see more candlesticks, more structure indicating that maybe buyers might step in down here. Then I'll look to buy. But as of right now, this second, I don't want to buy up here at the high. Okay, it's just strong. It's just gonna go forever. No, it's not gonna go forever. It's going to bait you to buy, and then it's gonna come down, and you're gonna screw yourself. Okay. So this is not just about knowing, okay, it's looking strong, it's going up, I'm gonna buy. Okay, it's looking bearish, now I'm gonna sell. No, okay. You have to follow the person that's moving the market. In this case is big money, right? Big money, big selling, right? Big buying, buying, buy, right? These are all, most of these are buying candles. Most of these on the way down were selling candles, but now it's all buying candles. Okay. So let's just be patient here while we wait for more. We need to have more information on the chart, more structure. I need some support and resistance over here and see how we react to them for me to know where we're gonna go, for me to know where I'm expecting to buy this. Okay. Aside from this strong uptrend that we have here, I will be looking for some kind of channel. We are going to go up higher. I will be looking for some kind of channel. Right? Can I find a trend that I can follow? If I can follow a trend, then we might be able to make some money. The idea is that we need a trend, is that we need a group of people buying, right? And an uptrend for me to buy. I need a group of people selling if I'm gonna consider selling. I'm not gonna watch buyers bring price up and sell by myself. Just gotta wait, page. It's gonna come. It's gonna come. Just gonna sit here for a little bit. Just kind of let price do its thing. Let's take this out of here. Okay. Let's take this out of here. And I'll take this out here. Probably about to break this anyway. And let's see what happens. Let's take this off for now. You know what? Actually, I'll keep that there. I'll keep this trim in there. So we see over here on ES that we're just now stepping into that supply zone. We're just now stepping into that supply zone. So man, yeah, just chilling, man. Just chilling, sit back, chill, sip your coffee, drink some water. And shoot me up with some questions if you have any questions. whatever, you know, whatever you guys wanna talk about. Just here chilling, just gonna still sit back, let this play out just a little bit. All right. We're back. Price is still in the same spot where we left it. There really isn't much of a setup here yet. There's sellers hitting on the ES. We see that they're rejecting this supply zone. So I would like selling here. Well, this looks like a better selling setup than it does here on the end. You know, this looks just way too bullish. Right? So would I take a sell? I probably wouldn't even take a straight line. Probably would not take a trade. What would I want to see? Well, I probably want to see us get below the 21 EMA first. If we can manage to do that, then I might look for shorts. We're struggling to do that. We can't get below the 21 EMA. We can't get below the 21. So I will not be looking. Well, we could move down here. You could try like a quick scalp. What we might do is pull back, and then, you know, something like that. We could do that. This probably has like I say like about a 65% maybe for us to pull back and then go higher. Did you guys take any trades yet? Anyone? you guys just chilling, kicking it? Nice, nice, nice. Awesome, man. Glad to hear, glad to hear. Glad to hear, man. Alright, at least the time is 10:41. Okay. Might keep it short today, guys. Might be on here until like about 11. Okay, so like I said, you might be able to catch a small short from up here. I would not stay there too long though, because I'm expecting that buyers might even step back in here. You know, price is struggling to get underneath the 21 EMA. You just gotta be careful when you do it. You know, when you scalp against the trend or when you don't have a clear setup and you're looking to scalp real fast, like you have to know when to get in quick, get out fast. You know, you have to be, you just have to be quick. You know, you have to know how can you catch this quick short of a clear leg. You can't just wait for 2-3 candles to print and then take your entry super far away. You know, if you're gonna scalp, if you're gonna be a quick scalper, like you just in and out 2 seconds, you have to know where to get your entry. You have to, your entry is gonna be very important. If you're gonna scalp quick, you have to take great entries. And you have to be careful going against the trend. Very careful. Whole lot of selling on these lows. So we're able to see now, right? We're able to see why we was looking for a quick scalp going into the demand zone. I'm in the demand zone. I don't care what the price is doing. I don't, you know, even if it looks like it's just gonna, oh, it's gonna keep going, it's gonna keep going. And no, it's not gonna keep going. We're in the demand zone. I don't want to fool myself into thinking prices is oh, I got the confirmation here on the pullback, it's gonna come down. Let me do a sell, right? Let me take a sell here, but I'm just gonna set my expectation that the price is gonna come down all the way down here. Like, no, you have traffic on the way. Right? If you have a demand zone and you're selling, you have traffic. You have traffic on the way. You haven't stopped here. Same thing here. If you want to buy here, right over here, we had a supply zone right up here. Do you want to buy into a traffic stop? Will you buy here? I wouldn't buy there. I would not be buying here. Oh yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I wouldn't be buying up here. Right, into a supply zone. What kind of business are you running with trading if you're buying at close to a supply zone? Because we have to tell ourselves we don't know what price is going to go. You have to be real with yourself. I don't know what price is going to go, but if it does this, this is what I'm going to do, right? If the price does this, I might buy here. Look, if it's so long, maybe. I have to first see it and see how I feel about it. If it feels like a good setup, right? If I'm getting a good reaction, right? Am I getting clean candlesticks? Or is it getting chopped up? You know, wicks on both sides of the candle, no clear direction. So you have to think about those things. You have to. I know you don't want to. I know you want to just think, oh, it's going up. I'm just gonna buy. It's just gonna go up. I know that's what I wish I could think that way too. I used to think that way, but I had to stop that kind of thinking. I had to start thinking that price, yeah, it looks bullish, but guess what? That's not a good entry up there. Not a good entry up there. That's not a good entry up here. Yeah. Based on what? Based on what information is that a good entry here? Based on what information is it a good entry here? What am I looking at that I'm saying, oh, it's a good entry here? Like, what am I looking at? What is my thesis based off? Is it based on an idea, or is it based on concrete information that we know about the market? Right? Concrete information that we know about market structure, concrete information that we know about stocks, that we know about candlesticks, that we know about the news. What is it based on? If I'm buying over here, if I'm buying up here, what am I looking at that I'm saying is gonna go up? What am I looking at? Would it make more sense? Let me paint you a scenario here. Right, so let's take all this crap off. Would it make more sense? Okay. If let's say market now pushes higher right here. Right? Let's say we get a strong push higher. Okay. Let's say it pushes here. It doesn't even pull back, right? We came here from here to here without ever even pulling back. Right? No pullback, straight up. Okay. Let's say the market's very strong. We go up here. Okay. We reject up this resistance right here. But then we pull back to what would be, sorry, move this up, move this down a little bit. Okay. Let's say we come up here, but then we pull back here, right? If price pushes from here to here, I'm gonna look at this as a demand zone where I'm going to buy. And I would probably, and because we already tapped into this trend line here, right? I would be looking to buy here. I might take some profits here, but I'm gonna leave some runs over here. Would you consider this the best setup? Because this would be where I would go here. Okay. Or this could be in here too. You know, you just never know what kind of setup we're gonna get. But if we get some kind of demand zone here, that's what I'm saying. If we get some kind of demand zone here, okay, our price could pull down to here. Okay, I don't know where it's gonna come down to, but if we create a higher high, this is a high. This is a high. Lower high, higher high. So if we create another higher high, I'm looking to pull back, so then I can buy where it looks to be a strong buying zone, and I will probably look to take a trade near this bottom with a high stop, maybe down here, and I will take profits here, and then I will take profits up here as well. I'll probably hold one, being cautious of this previous resistance here. Okay. So I want to see where the danger is. I gotta look left. I gotta look at what's happened in the past. But that's just the way I view things. Once you've taken enough losses, you kind of learn the hard way. But this is just thought, right? I'm just thinking scenario wise. You know. We have a gap up here. Market might want to fill half of this gap before it goes down. Maybe. I don't know. We know that gaps like to fill. Okay. Same thing like a fair value gap. We have a fair value gap here. And what happened? Well, price bounced off of it and then filled it. Same thing with this huge fair value. I mean, this huge gap in price from yesterday's close to today's open. So same exact kind of scenario, right? Could try to fill this entire gap, or maybe half of it. It's a whole lot of buying still here. ES is still here at the supply zone. So consider what ES is doing and try to make that part of your plan. If you're trading NQ, it's good to make that happen. You don't have to do it. I can trade NQ just fine without looking at the ES, but I like to have that little edge. You feel me? If I have that little edge on what price to do, then I can make decisions on the fly like that, buying against the trend. Because I saw that, SPY did not tap into this for right. So I could do little quick, sneaky, slick moves like that. But it's up to you. I mean, whatever floats your boat. But this is just a little key thing. I wish I knew this back when I started. I would have definitely been watching the ES and then from day one. But yes, it's important. It's important and it's useful. You have to make money. So, see what else we got here. Yeah, it's 10:54, guys. It's nothing really set up on the chart. I might give this another 10 minutes. But yeah, this is nothing going on right now. The market's kind of slow down. We've been up here for like 25, 30 minutes almost. Up here, just chilling up here, doing nothing. See if you have any more news. No, that's it for today. Treasury buyback announcement. I don't think that's most of the important news has these green and red stars. They'll say report or consensus. These are the news that really do move the market. This stuff, yeah, can sometimes affect the market, but it's not very common. That being the case, yeah, we'll call it today early, and hopefully you guys took something away from this lesson today, from this experience, this type of market condition, right? That's pretty much it here. This could go into a range. Just set up the line here. Right, this could be a range. This could be a range down here. Range down, go higher, go lower, higher. Right? This could be a range here. So just know your market condition first before you know what you're getting into, before you start taking trades. Okay? You gotta know when not to take a trade. You gotta know when to take a trade, when it's the best opportunity. You have to know when you need to stop taking trades. Right? For me, that's about 11 o'clock. I'm usually done. I don't need an entire day to make money. I just need a good hour. Not even most days it's like good 20 minutes, 30 minutes. If you got the shorts from here, and then you got that scalping longs here, that's it. You would have been done $200, $300, $400, $500 easy. Easy. You don't need to trade this all day. I'm telling you this. It's a bad habit, man. I used to trade all day, and when I traded all day, I always, for the most cases, lost money. I made some, but in most cases, I made some and then I'll give it back. Or I made some and I give it back the next day. Why? Because I traded all day, man. I traded all day. If I traded all day and it went great, then I would tell you, hey man, I traded all day. It was awesome. I made millions. But that's not the case. The case is I traded all day. I made some. I always lost it. I made some. I always gave it back. Okay. I made some. You know. That's the case. So use your own experience, right? Don't just learn from what I'm telling you. Use your own experience with the markets. That's not. If you're doing something and it's making you lose money, then do something different. If it's giving you bad results, do something different. Either change the strategy, or maybe look into checking it out, see if you're doing it correctly first. Because if you learn a strategy and you don't know how to use it, and you use it incorrectly, and it's technically not a strategy because you're not using it correctly, right? The strategy has a way of being used, has a way of being incorporated into your trading, and if you don't do that very well, then even though you have a profitable strategy, you still won't lose. Okay, so keep that in mind. It's about to be 11 here, guys. I'm about to call it for the day. Hope you guys had a great morning here with me and the chat. But yeah, the market's very slow right now, man. I wouldn't trade this. Take a break, get some lunch, hug your family member, tell them you love them. Do something. Get away from the chart. Grab some water. Go for a walk. And then come back later in the afternoon. See what the market's doing. Alright? Good luck to you all. Thanks for watching the stream. Much love. Peace.